a new poll that shows Democrats nationally, their lead may be shrinking as the president's approval rating jumps to its highest level yet. But yet there's another poll that suggests Democrats have a 9-point lead, at least in one state. So what is correct? Here now to break down all the polls, former Indiana Congressman David McIntosh. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you, Heather.
So let's talk first about this NBC Wall Street Journal poll that just is in general who people would prefer Congress be controlled by. And they say right now, amongst likely voters, we can show people that at home, 50% say Democrats, 41% say Republicans. Out of registered voters, 48% Democrats, 41% Republicans. And then independents, what I think is interesting, 41% Democrats and 27% Republicans. Yep. What do you think about this?
Well, this poll basically is very good news for Republicans. The margin there is shrinking. In other words, Republicans are catching up with Democrats. We thought it was going to be a blue wave. But with the president's approval rating going up, the margin's now down to 7%. We call that the generic ballot, that people would prefer Democrats over Republicans. Mm-hmm. If it gets to 5 or 6%, the stats are that the Republicans at that point can keep the majority in the House and pick up seats in the Senate. So they're close. Not quite there, but close to being able to accomplish their goal of keeping the majority.
So watch for that to shrink to 4 to 5%, and then it looks like Republicans will take the House.
That's right.
And you say that that closely ties in with President Trump's job approval rating numbers as well. And we have a look at this poll where we have 47% now approving of the president compared to, what, 44% in September, disapproving 49% compared to 52% in September. So he's doing better.
He is. It's a historic high for him, which is tremendous, I think, for the public realizing that President Trump's making a difference in Washington. The economy is better, and those are the issues they most want to vote on.
Yeah, and as we get closer and closer to the midterms, as those numbers continue to rise, the timing of it is significant as well.
That's right. What people are already starting to vote in states like Florida, in Montana. Those are key states for the Senate races, and the early balloting is happening today, and will go all the way through the election.
Yeah, also happening today, big rally in Texas. 100,000 people expected to attend, although that many can't get into the venue. There's going to be a lot of tailgating. Texas, let's take you there. Let's take a look at this poll. We mentioned it briefly at the top. Support for Ted Cruz, 52%, Beto O'Rourke at 43%. So Cruz is a significant lead there, 9 points.
Yes, 9-point, very good lead. He's above 50%. Ted Cruz is going to win that race. It didn't look like that around Labor Day. It was getting very close then. But Ted's come on strong. People realize he's the more conservative, the real leader, and they like him now. Yeah. They see that he was helpful to them when they were trying to recover from the hurricane. And so he's really consolidated that race and is in good shape.
What about the president's support? What type of impact do you think that's having?
It's very much helping him. Yeah. The president coming down for the rally, it shows Republicans are united. Whether you're a Cruz Republican, a Trump Republican, a Bush Republican, they're going to be supporting Ted.
Another state that the president has been, Tennessee, and the race there. Now you have Marsha Blackburn looking to overtake former Governor Bredesen.
Yes.
What do you think about that race?
So that's now gotten closer than it did in some public polls. Marsha's still ahead, and in fact, the latest poll we saw had her increase that lead by 2 or 3 points.
Right. After Taylor Swift came out, I think, actually.
Tennessee said, Taylor, go back to New York. We don't really need your political advice.
Florida.
Florida is very close, and for months has gone through the margin of error. A little bit for Governor Scott, a little bit for Senator Nelson, and now Governor Scott has a slight lead of about 3%. I think that's going to end up being the lead he has on Election Day, because Florida's a very divided state.
Well, and what's interesting there, though, you know, talk about who is allowed to vote, who's not allowed to vote, but people recovering from the hurricane right now. You have to take that into account as well.
It is, and one thing the governor has done is show that he's a real leader. He got on top of the hurricane relief. He's been right there helping people. He suspended his campaign. He didn't try to raise money on the hurricane like Senator Nelson did. He's really demonstrated to Floridians that he's there for them.
Unfortunately, he knows what it takes to recover from hurricanes down there. He's been through a lot. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you.
All right, we will have you back as we get closer.